let's get into the weeds a little bit and into some processes. So once a job candidate comes to you, and they've been vetted or screened or whatever, but the time has come where somebody wants to set up an interview and you find them acceptable to interview. So both parties want to do this interview. How do you best find to communicate through that process? Are we on the phone? Are we texting? Are we meeting somewhere? Are we Zooming like we are now? Tell me a little bit about that process.
Yeah, good question. Well, we've kind of flipped the process a little bit on its head, and this has helped us to filter through people at a rate that we can actually afford to do it. So obviously we're spending money on recruiting, and that's really important. And you need to cut out a sizable chunk to spend on recruiting. And Shawn Day and his team do an excellent job of making sure that money is well spent, but there's no way around it. You have to spend money and you have to get your ads in front of the candidates. You want as many people in that funnel as possible. Just like if you're selling for your services, you want your ad to get in front of as many people as possible. And for us, that includes doing a whole bunch of different things that we won't get into, but our pipeline is full of people. Now, to filter out all of those people, because here's the thing with Indeed and all these other places now, it takes for most job applications, it takes a couple clicks to apply for a job. And so in this instant gratification, swipe right, swipe left kind of world, people are applying for 50 jobs, but maybe they're really only interested in a couple. And so it's kind of like swiping on Tinder or swiping on Bumble or whatever. It back in the day, last time I was dating, Tinder was brand new, but the strategy was, and all of us guys were in on it, don't waste your time going through all of the profiles. Just see who swipes right on you and swipe right on everyone. And then you know what you're working with. You're not spending your time going through all the profiles because you don't know who's interested in you. Maybe it's a fake profile. Maybe it's someone that doesn't want to date someone who's younger or older, or maybe they're just on there for entertainment purposes. But make sure that your funnel is collecting as many people as possible. And you don't want to spend a lot of time filtering out people if you don't know for sure that they're interested in your job to begin with. So the way we tell if they're interested in our job to begin with is we have a group interview. And in this group interview, we have them actually come out to our office. We have a special area that we conduct these interviews, also the training room. So it's a little bit larger. We've got chairs set up as if it were a classroom. And when people apply, we send a text message out to them immediately. And this is super easy to do because it's just a copy and paste. And so a couple times a day, our general manager will just copy and paste the same text message. And all it says, hey, we got your post on, or we got your application. We're very interested in learning more about you. Why don't you come in for an interview? Does Tuesdays at 4 or Thursdays at 5 work for you? And it's always Tuesdays at 4 and Thursdays at 5 for us. We've just found it's a little bit easier to get people in the evening, and having a couple different time slots helps them out a little bit. And most of the time, if they're actually interested, and this is very few people that will actually apply to this is what's mind blowing. You can reply to them immediately as soon as they submit the application. You're only going to get a reply from maybe 30 to 40% of those people. So why would you waste your time going through and trying to look at resumes and all that that stuff, it just takes up a lot of time. Just immediately reach out to them, invite them to a group interview. And so what Leah does, that's my general manager. She just basically copies and pastes this message to every single person that applies. And when
Andy, let me ask a question
Yeah.
real quick. So when you are communicating with these people, do you find that it's phone, text, or email works the best?
That's a good question. What we found is really in my opinion, the best way to get directly to someone is to hit their phone with a text message. And because no one answers their phone, I don't answer my phone.
Yep.
I check my email maybe once or twice a day.
Yep.
But if you're not a professional, how often are you really checking your email, especially with all of the junk email we get? It's almost impossible to go through all of the email that you get in a day.
Yep.
So
I agree with that. I think the data shows that texting is something like a 96, 97%, maybe not response rate, but read rate at least, where that's not even close with email. I don't remember the last time I answered my phone if I didn't recognize the number. It's been probably years since I've done that.